Mario, we're here talking over fries about franchising. You've been a franchisee 3 times. What is it about the franchise model that has worked for you?
I was always really good at executing a plan.
Okay.
And for me, having a franchise model with specific plans and details on how to actually be successful makes all the difference in the world. So I like following, not a script, but I like having some loose guidelines that I can use that I know is successful, and I can add my own flavor to it and still be autonomous in my own business. So franchise model for me is perfect. It's exactly what I want. And then using the expertise of the parent company, the franchisor, and the rest of the franchisees within the system, it's very helpful for me, and it just works really well.
So I personally know that you're a very collaborative franchisee. You participate in sales training. You step up to lead in franchisee forums and things, and you'll be vocal when you need to be vocal, but you're always respectful and helpful, trying to move the brand forward for everybody. What is it like collaborating with a franchisor, and what are some of the things that you would advise other franchisees to consider doing to help the system grow overall?
Well, I think when some franchisees are successful, if they can pass that knowledge on to everybody,
okay,
the success of the brand will turn into your own success. So if you have something that you think would be great for everybody to use, passing that on to the franchisor is the first thing you should do.
Right.
Because you have a communication system in place already that you can communicate to everybody. You can disseminate things that we know are going to be really helpful and are at the end of the day going to help me as a franchisee. That's wonderful. So if you got a smart idea, talk about it, collaborate, like you said, help everybody, and you will help yourself in the end.
So for example, in Temporary Wall Systems, let's just say that you get a new customer and you're working with them here in Charleston, South Carolina, and now all of a sudden you realize that they've got projects in other cities where we have franchisees. What would you do in that situation?
I would absolutely ask my customer here in town for some contact information in those other cities, and then pass that along to our franchisees in those cities to reach out, send them photos of my project so they can pass it along and say, hey, we're working with XYZ construction company in Charleston, and this is what we're doing. We'd love to work with you here in Tampa or Cincinnati or wherever else that particular franchisee might live.
Yeah. We had a situation in Temporary Walls this summer where we recognized there was a market opportunity for a variation on the core product. And we worked with our supplier partner very quickly to make requirements and then to put a prototype in manufacturing, and now ultimately within 90 days, full-scale manufacturing, delivering of the new product into the marketplace to the franchisees.
Yeah. How
How important is it that the franchisor remains in good standing and fosters great relationships with its vendors?
you can't exist without that,
Right.
because things are going to change throughout just business as a whole, and then specifically for our business, our clients are always going to come first, and their needs are what we are going to have to meet. And if you don't have those relationships with our suppliers and your vendors that help with us, we can't help our clients, and they will go somewhere else. So if you're active, you're connected, you're collaborating with the larger enterprises that we deal with, we don't have to do it, for one.
Right.
And you can take care of all that and then pass along the savings, the economies of scale, everything else that on a larger scale will help benefit for what we do across the board.
Well, there's so many great stories in franchising. The fish fillet sandwich with McDonald's coming out of a franchisee in Chicago, a good Catholic area where they didn't eat meat on Fridays.
Right.
And McDonald's didn't do well on Fridays, except for this one location where the guy was selling a fish sandwich, now is served across the country. So solved for one is solved for all in a franchise. So you don't have to figure out all the business problems yourself. You can identify the problems, and if the problem is something that can be solved through a group of franchisees or at the home office level, or collaboratively, then everybody can benefit from that joint solution and then take advantage of that in their local marketplace.
100% right. And a perfect example is our job that we just looked at a little while ago at the airport.
Yes.
That is a function of our normal core walls.
Okay.
With the new technology you're talking about on top of it, because this requirement was for a 12-foot high wall. Because inside of that, the structure of the new restaurant is almost 12 feet tall. So we had to build a 12-foot wall. Our core product doesn't go up to 12 feet. So the new technology that you're talking about with our supplier allowed us to make it there in an effective, efficient, a way that didn't cost me tens of thousands of dollars to do.
That's right.
And I satisfied the customer at the project level scale, and now that project is almost done.
Yeah.
And that revenue turns up in my pocket. So you having a relationship with those key suppliers and the people who produce our product, that's not my relationship, that's yours. But I'm benefiting from it down the line.
Talk to me a little bit about culture and communications. What responsibilities do franchise owners have to self-manage within the network and make sure that there is a healthy debate, that there is a communication that goes amongst the franchise owners and then to the franchisor if and when appropriate? You know, I don't care if it's a homeowners association or a PTA, anytime you get a group of people together that have some common goal or common objectives that they need to work on, there's going to be all types of different people that are trying to solve that in all types of different ways.
Yeah.
So what makes a good, healthy franchise system? What's the balance between, you know, good candor, a little bit of conflict, healthy conversations, and at the end of the day, everybody being able to get on board and move forward as a team?
Well, so the franchisees are kind of like herding cats, right?
They're business owners.
100%.
They own their own business.
And a lot of us are a little bit type A. We think we know everything. So getting everybody's opinion going in the same direction is not always very easy.
Right.
On the other hand, we all have the same end goal in mind.
Yeah.
We want to build our brand. We want to have everybody spread out throughout the country. So the bigger the brand gets, the bigger we get individually here in town. We want you to make sure that you can have in place situations where we can collaborate,
right,
and get together and grow together and learn together and talk about things and projects and just continue on our trajectory of going higher. And that's something that we have to be open and honest with you. If we don't like something, I know what your cell phone number is.
Yes.
I have no truck calling you and talking about things if that's, good and bad. I've always had an open line of communication with you, and I think everybody does, and that's healthy in any organization. And we have a wonderful organization at TWS, and I love helping people in our group, and I've learned so much from my fellow franchisees.
Oh, it's a powerful group.
Yeah, there's so much brain power throughout, and I don't care if it's in Las Vegas or in Arizona or, throughout the country, Florida, Atlanta, it doesn't matter. There's so much talent in this group that it's just so exciting to see what's going to come next.
You mentioned forums for communication. So some of those forums are technology.
Yep.
And we have a variety of open channels where franchisees collaborate, products, marketing, business development, those types of channels. We also have everybody channels that everybody can be in there for a monthly meeting or an update, or like a training that you just provided on referral-based marketing, working the 90-day sprint that we put together for each of the brands. And then there's things like regional meetings and homecoming. Like, those are the types of ways that franchise owners, they need to show up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't show up, then you're going to get behind. And if you're behind, now you're not aligned. And if you're not aligned, then you can become disappointed, or you miss out on something.
Or you become the squeaky wheel for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
I totally look forward to homecoming. It's something that I put on my calendar as soon as the date is announced, and we have great places that we go. It's fun. For me personally, it's just fun being there. I get to reconnect with my fellow franchisees that we talk to on the phone all the time. We see on Teams videos and chats and that sort of thing. But just being in a room with my friends again is just really fun, and it's really a wonderful opportunity. And the programs that are instituted throughout the couple of days that we're together are super informative. You go home charged. You go home with like an added sense of intentionality and just vigor about everything that you're going to do, that you get a boost every time you go home from homecoming. And it's just something that allows us to get together and have fun, have great food, enjoy the programs, learn a lot.
Sure.
And it's just wonderful seeing everybody and behind the scenes, everybody that your team supports us. It's just a great time.
One of the best things that we do, and one of the reasons we have homecoming in November, is because we do bottom-up business planning. So franchisees bring their business plan into the marketplace, into the conference, and there's a group session where people are presenting on their business plan. So if you have an area of your business plan that you're not sure what the number should be or what the percentage should be, and there's a debate about it in the room, you see people looking at their plans and just saying, okay, I'm going with that. Or maybe having a little side conversation with somebody that was speaking that really has a sense of it. And what fosters that too is the radical transparency of the fact that you can see everybody else's numbers.
Yeah.
So if you care to look at who's doing the most sales, who's doing the average ticket size, all of the variables, then you know who to look for at conference. So there's really kind of a good franchisor creates the environment, but nothing happens without great franchisees.
Absolutely right. And it can be uncomfortable because you're laying your cards face up.
That's right.
On the table for everybody to see. And then you see somebody else's cards face up and you're like, holy cow, that guy's smoking me.
Yeah.
He's killing me, and I could do better.
Yeah.
And it just charges you up, and it's helpful to see, like, if you're struggling with an area like you're talking about, you're struggling with an area, somebody else might be too. And if you see that in the presentation on the business planning that you're talking about, you get a solution to your own problem. So it's a wonderful time.
Well, and it allows people to sit not across from the table and debate things, but on the same side of the table, looking at the truth
100%
in the numbers.
Yep.
And then really solving the problems objectively and without emotion, just based upon the numbers. And that's really where great business owners need to be. You need to be passionate, but you also need to be very measured in the way that you approach it, very logical and scientific in your approach.
Yep. And transparent too.
Yes.
Because you're just being open and honest with things that, you might not be so proud of.
True.
And it doesn't matter because you're in a place that's very healthy and helpful.
Yeah.
And you solve problems at this thing, and it's just great.
Yeah. If somebody were at a point in their career or their life and they had some sort of problem to solve, retirement, paying for helping children or grandchildren, education, maybe it's even a job that they just don't want to get downsized from for a third time.
Yeah.
What advice would you offer them about investigating a franchise?
So, not 100% of the people out there are meant to be business owners. However, a large percentage of people who have who have skills that they've acquired throughout their professional lives, you can take that and turn that into your own business.
Got it.
So if you're willing to go all in, then do it. But if you're not, don't.
It's great advice.
Don't, because you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
There's no easy business. There's just not. It requires all of your attention. It requires all of your skills.
Right.
It requires everything you can bring to the table, at least for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And then you can hire in talent to fill out and build out your business and do things that are bringing people who are better than you at marketing, bringing people who are better than you at sales, bring in better people to, do your installations, build out your company with people who are smarter than you, and you will be uber successful.
You can't bring a employment mentality to running a business.
No, you
because the buck
cannot.
stops with you. And you have to look inwardly if something's not working first. If you're just looking to blame it on the next department over or the customer and you don't want to deal with it, those problems just pile up and up.
Yeah.
And it gets very heavy on your heart.
Yeah.
And the friction will turn to entropy, and the entropy will crash you into the sun.
Yeah.
So it's
One thing that people don't get either is, and when I do my classes and seminars, I always tell the group, especially if they're new entrepreneurs and business people, is part of what you're talking about, the employee mentality.
Yeah.
The biggest piece of that is don't be afraid to make a lot of money.
Oh.
People don't get that. People think it in their head as they're coming from the employee mentality to the business owner mentality that X amount of dollars is good enough for that day's work.
Right.
It's not like that at all.
Right.
It's at a whole different scale that you haven't even thought about. And you have to be prepared to be successful. And being successful in business could mean substantial amounts of money. And you have to be ready for that.
Right.
And be okay with it. Because you may take yourself out of opportunities just because you're not ready to make that kind of money. And be prepared and be able to make a lot of money.
Huh. Great advice. Well, anything else you have to add?
No, it's been wonderful having you here.
I appreciate it.
You are welcome in Charleston anytime you want. We'll hook up the boat and go fishing, and you just come down here whenever you want.
Sounds great. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.